All right, I'll go. But I'll be fashionably late. No, yes, no, yes. No, yes. Definitely not. All right, I've made my decision. I'm going, and that's that. Have my fingers crossed.
Carlos Smith shared children with two women, and now one of them is charged with murdering the other.
It was supposed to be just another Monday morning. A mother packing lunch for her 6-year-old son, writing him a little note to brighten his day at school. The kind of thing millions of moms do without thinking twice. But for Romeca Meeks-Blackmon, that September morning in 2025 would be her last. And the sweet words she wrote to her boy, telling him how cool and smart and funny he was, how much she loved him, would become the final message she'd ever leave behind. Before we get into what happened that day, I need you to do something for me. If you're interested in cases like this, real stories that don't get the attention they deserve, hit that like button right now. Subscribe to 3 AM Files and click that bell icon because we're diving into the cold, hidden truths that most people don't want to talk about. Step into the hour when the world sleeps and secrets come alive. This is 3 AM Files, where we uncover the raw, uncut details with no filters and no sugarcoating. Just the truth. Now let's talk about Romeca. Romeca was 31 years old, living in Chicago, and she was working hard to build a better life. She wasn't just getting by. She was in nursing school, studying to become a nurse, dreaming of a career where she could help people. Her friends described her as someone with the purest soul, the life of every gathering, the kind of person who always showed up. And more than anything, she showed up for her son. Always. That little boy was her world, and everyone who knew her could see it. September 8, 2025 started like any other school day. Romeca got her son ready, packed his lunch, and did something really special. She wrote him a note and tucked it inside his lunchbox. The note said, "Happy Monday, son. Today is the first start to this and you can start off strong. Always remain yourself. You're the coolest, smartest, and funniest kid I know. I love you so much and you make me so proud. Have a great day. Mommy loves you." She even posted a picture of it on social media that morning. She was proud to be his mom. She wanted the world to know. After dropping her son off at school near Cermak Road and State Street in Chicago's South Loop, Romeca's morning took a turn. And here's where things get complicated because this wasn't a random act of violence. This was personal. Very personal. See, Romeca's ex-boyfriend, a man named Carlos Lozo's Way, was the father of her 6-year-old son. But Carlos had moved on. He was now with another woman, Quadajah Johnson, and they had a baby together too, a 6-month-old infant. So you've got two women who share children with the same man. And if you think that's a recipe for tension, you'd be right. But it went way beyond tension. That morning at 9:06 AM, just minutes after Romeca dropped her son off at school, Carlos and Quadajah pulled up nearby in their car with their baby inside. And whatever happened next, it escalated fast. Romeca and Quadajah got into a verbal argument. Words were exchanged. Heated words. And then Carlos, the father of both their children, got involved. But he didn't break it up peacefully. According to court documents, he put Romeca in a chokehold. Think about that for a second. The father of her child choking her in the street. Now here's where it gets even darker. While Carlos had Romeca in that chokehold, Quadajah walked back to her car. She opened the door, and she pulled out a gun. Not to scare anyone, not to wave it around. She walked up to Romeca and shot her, multiple times, at extremely close range. Witnesses said it happened right there in the street. One of those shots hit Romeca in the face. The woman who had just kissed her son goodbye, who had just written him that loving note, was now bleeding out on a Chicago sidewalk while her child was inside a school building nearby. Paramedics rushed her to Stroger Hospital, but it was too late. Romeca Meeks-Blackmon was pronounced dead. And you want to know what Quadajah did after shooting her? She fist-bumped Carlos, the man they both shared children with. She shot a woman in the face and then celebrated with a fist bump like they just won something. Now you might be thinking, okay, she was arrested, right? She went straight to jail, right? Well, here's the part that's going to make your blood boil. Quadajah Johnson was taken into custody that day. But then she was released. No charges. Nothing. The police let her go. Can you imagine being Romeca's mother, Tina McMiller? Your daughter is dead, murdered in broad daylight in front of witnesses, and the person who killed her walks free. Tina was left to pick up the pieces of a shattered family. She had to raise Romeca's 6-year-old son, her grandson, who just lost his mother. And just days after Romeca died, that little boy turned 7. Instead of planning a birthday party with his mom, his grandmother had to figure out how to explain why mommy wasn't coming home, ever. For 3 months, the family waited. They mourned. They demanded answers. They wanted to know why the woman who killed Romeca was walking around free. And the more they learned, the angrier they got. Because it turns out, Quadajah had been building a case against Romeca for months. She'd filed protective orders against Romeca dating back to December 2024. One was granted in July 2025, just 2 months before the shooting. The family believed Quadajah was creating a paper trail, setting things up to make Romeca look like the aggressor. And here's the kicker. On the morning of the shooting, Carlos reportedly had an active restraining order against him and Quadajah. So what were they doing there in the first place? Quadajah had a ID card. She had a concealed carry license. Everything legal on paper. So when she claimed self-defense after the shooting, some people actually considered it. But ask yourself this. If you're really afraid of someone, if you genuinely need protection, do you drive to their location with your 6-month-old baby in the car? Do you get out and confront them? Does your boyfriend put that person in a chokehold while you go get your gun? And after you shoot them, do you fist bump and celebrate in the street? The community wasn't buying it. A petition started circulating, demanding that the state's attorney's office file charges. People were furious. They organized vigils. On September 12th, just 4 days after Romeca's death, community leaders gathered to call for justice and to push for tougher enforcement of laws meant to address violence as a public health crisis. They wanted accountability. They wanted someone to care that a mother was dead. And finally, in December 2025, nearly 3 months after Romeca was killed, Quadajah Johnson was arrested at her home in Des Plaines. She was charged with first-degree murder. By that time, she was 7 weeks pregnant again. When she appeared in court for her detention hearing, her defense team argued self-defense. They pointed to her clean record, her concealed carry license, her pregnancy. They questioned the reliability of witnesses, saying one was wearing noise-canceling headphones and couldn't have heard everything clearly. But the judge wasn't having it. The judge said celebrating in the street after shooting someone is not self-defense. Bond was denied. Quadajah Johnson would remain in custody pending trial. Prosecutors even added 5 more charges related to the killing.
I just want to say thank you to the state's attorney, to Detective Tiros. You did a great job. I truly appreciate it. To the Attorney General. It's been 3 months of pain and agony. I just want to say thank you, Lord. Thank you. Justice, please. I just want justice. I don't want to fight with nobody. I don't want to argue with nobody. I just want justice for my daughter.
For Romeca's mother, Tina, the arrest brought a sliver of relief. She told reporters, "This has been such a hard 3 months. It's been painful. It's been terrible. I mean, we've been torn apart. I want justice so I can have peace of mind. It won't bring her back, but it will be a little peace now. I just feel like a big bundle has been lifted off my head and heart." But think about what was lost here. Romeca was working toward becoming a nurse. She had dreams. She had goals. She was building something. And her son, that little 7-year-old boy, he's growing up without his mother. He'll never get another birthday with her. Never get another note in his lunchbox. Never hear her tell him how cool and smart and funny he is. His grandmother is raising him now, doing the best she can, but she can't replace what he lost. So here's what I want you to think about. This case raises some really uncomfortable questions. How does someone claim self-defense when they leave their car to retrieve a gun during a confrontation they could have simply driven away from? How does the system let someone walk free for 3 months after a shooting with witnesses? And what does it say about how we handle domestic violence and conflicts between people who share complicated relationships? There's also the bigger question. How many times do we see cases like this where protective orders and legal paperwork get twisted and manipulated? Where someone uses the system itself as a weapon? Quadajah filed protective orders against Romeca. She had documentation. She had a legal gun. On paper, she looked like the victim. But the reality, the raw truth, tells a very different story. And what about Carlos, the man both women shared children with? He put Romeca in a chokehold. He was right there. He fist-bumped the woman who shot the mother of his child. Where's his accountability in all this? Why do men in situations like these so often get to walk away while women destroy each other? I want you to sit with that for a minute. Really think about it. Because cases like Romeca's don't happen in a vacuum. They happen because of choices, because of jealousy, because of systems that fail. Because sometimes the people who are supposed to protect us don't. If this case made you feel something, if it made you angry or sad or confused, I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below and tell me what you think. Should Quadajah Johnson's self-defense claim hold any weight? Do you think Carlos should face charges too? And what can we do as a society to prevent tragedies like this from happening in the first place? And if you want to see more cases like this, real stories that need to be told, make sure you're subscribed to 3 AM Files. Hit that like button, share this video, and click the bell so you never miss an upload. We're here to uncover the truth, no matter how dark it gets. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.